Man, it's been a long time coming, but we're finally making a video about the Vancouver Canucks that is just a normal news update video. And believe me, man, it's been really tough transitioning out of the cycle of watching games and making videos that I don't really feel passionate about because watching the games actually kind of sucks nowadays, and talking about stuff that sucks kind of sucks too. So even though I'm in a position now where I've kind of chosen to free myself from the shackles of making videos that just really bring me down, it hasn't really opened the door for any good discussion-based commentary on news that has happened. That's why I say news. Edler Simmons yesterday wasn't really news, it was just me addressing something that I kind of noticed in the community. But we have ourselves what is a few players I wanted to talk about here in terms of the Vancouver Canucks. One of them is a former Canuck, another is a Canuck to be. But before we get underway with any of that, thank you to those in the comment section of the Triamkin video. Yes, it was so long ago, who commented Groot. I was looking for just Groot, but we had some comments saying, like, Groot, Triamkin, Tree, because that's kind of the connection I made. So, I mean, if you want a chance to be featured in the next Canucks video, whenever that may be, by the way, stick around to the end of this one for that chance for the comment section keyword. Today we're talking about Jonah Gadjovich as well as Adam Gaudette. Now, these two are kind of on different spectrums in terms of the Vancouver Canucks relationship. Adam Gaudette is a former Canuck who was sent over to the Chicago Blackhawks in exchange for Matthew Highmore. Jonah Gadjovich was a Canucks draftee back in 2017 who has been up and down OHL, AHL. His entire AHL tenure has not been the best leading up to this season, and we'll get to what he has done this season as to why he is even a topic of conversation today. But I wanted to talk firstly about Adam Gaudette, because Adam Gaudette's a guy whose name, when you mention it to the Canucks fan base, you get yourselves a few different points of views. Firstly, you have the Canucks fans who go out there and talk about Adam Gaudette as if he was a guy who deserved to get traded and who was in a position to not really grow under the Vancouver Canucks development curve that they set out for him. And that is a completely fair assessment of Adam Gaudette as a guy. We always knew Adam Gaudette back when he was a prospect in the Northeastern University Huskies system to be this lethal goal-scoring machine with an offensive presence whose skating wasn't really the best, but who could go out there, get some goals, and just be a very good offensive producer. That's why he won the Hobey Baker that year. And in the NHL, Adam Gaudette showed flashes. He showed himself moments where he had these offensive tools, but he just couldn't bury them, He couldn't get the points on the board because at the end of the day, the puck would either get saved or it would go wide or whatever. He had really, really good offensive underlying data for the Canucks this season. It's just he didn't really get the results you would expect that underlying data to imply that he would have gotten. Furthermore, as a guy playing on a center core that featured Elias Pettersson, Bo Horvat, and I guess you could say JT Miller in some nights as well, having Adam Gaudette in your lineup, if you want to play him as a center, sees him as a bottom six center because Horvat, Pettersson, maybe Miller, they're your first or second line guys. And what do you normally get from bottom six centers? Hey, you get penalty killing, you get defensive play, you get two-way coverage, you get board play. And Gaudette, while I still feel he was a very capable offensive NHL producer, was never really the best on the defensive side of things. He had a lot of work to do in that department. And so when the Vancouver Canucks traded Adam Gaudette to the Chicago Blackhawks 1-for-1 for Matthew Highmore, it was kind of crazy because eventually Matthew Highmore was given a top six spot in the lineup, but the trade itself was met with some mixed feelings, I guess. I, for one, am still kind of on the same train. Gaudette getting traded, okay, cool, you could convince me, but the return, Matthew Highmore, I'm really not satisfied with that. I mean, Highmore's playing a lot more with Vancouver than he was in Chicago, yes, but he's still not really doing all too much out there. As for Adam Gaudette, though, the reason we're even talking about him is that he's got 4 points in his recent 3 games played with the Blackhawks. Oh my goodness, he's coming out here, he's actually scoring now. He's got a goal and 3 assists. He had himself a multi-point night the other day, and you see some of the quotes that he has been giving out to the media, and it just makes me feel kind of sad, I'm sad looking at this stuff. Firstly, we had ourselves some speculation as to why Gaudette was traded, and the entire thing that happened with being patient zero. We made a video about that, chronicling the different points of views and the different journalistic outputs that were given out there. But Gaudette himself was asked about that. Here's a tweet from Mark Lazarus back on April 30th. Adam Gaudette talking about the speculation of the Canucks trading him because he was patient zero of their outbreak. Don't believe everything you read on Twitter. There's a lot of BS going around, a lot of disrespectful things said about my wife that are just not true. He also said that he has a good relationship with everyone back in Vancouver and that the speculation is all baseless. I hope that's 100% true, because if it is, then I guess Bo Horvat might have just unfollowed Adam Gaudette because of, I don't know, he just sat in his phone or something, I'm not sure. But aside from that, we also had another quote that I wanted to read about Adam Gaudette. This is what he said after yesterday's Blackhawks and Panthers game, where Duclair and DeBrincat were kind of just trading goals like Yu-Gi-Oh cards. We're trying to find our game and set something up for next season. The Blackhawks, hey, they're allowing me to play my style of game. I feel like a few years ago, when I was at Northeastern, oh, man, this is the kind of guy, man. Like, at the end of the day, I understand why they traded him. Again, I get it. It made sense, stylistically, and just in terms of the development of the players on the team. But don't get me wrong, man. If Adam Gaudette becomes a point producer for the Blackhawks like what he was with the Northeastern Huskies, I'm going to feel choked, and I'm pretty sure a lot of other Canucks fans are going to feel choked too. Like Jared McCann. I haven't made a video about Jared McCann yet, but this guy's absolutely phenomenal right now for the Penguins. And if you want to hear more, hey, stick around to the channel because we're going to talk about that soon. Also, though, on the Canucks chopping block, we have ourselves a guy in Jonah Gadjovich, whose name has been one of the ups and downs over the past few seasons, but who has been finally given the biggest shot up that we have seen in the past few years. Jonah Gadjovich has been recalled to the Vancouver Canucks. He will have a quarantine, of course. 15 goals in 19 games for the Utica Comets after getting only 13 in 38 last year. Jonah Gadjovich, back when he was drafted by the Vancouver Canucks in 2017, was seen as that freebie. Of course, the John Tortorella pick is the entire reason we have Gadjovich. But now, after spending some time in the Utica system, where he wasn't that good of a producer previously, hey, he's lighting the world on fire. A point-per-game guy in the AHL. He's still only 22 years old. Under a goal a game, yes, the snipes, the body in front kind of presence that he provides for the Comets, it's been paying off very well. And this is the kind of guy who, if he makes his debut with the Vancouver Canucks soon, alongside of Cole Lind and alongside of Jack Rathbone, oh man, it really does start to give me some kind of hope for the future, you know? Like, we have these bottom six players that don't really do much. We have the guys that we acquired in the trades, like the Matthew Highmores, the waiver guys, like the VCs and the Boyds. Sure, VC looked okay yesterday, but at the end of the day, what matters? Points. The guy got 0 points out there. It's kind of like that Adam Gaudette situation you had with the Canucks, isn't it? But for Jonah Gadjovich coming out here as another 2017 guy, along with Elias Pettersson, along with Cole Lind, along with Michael DiPietro, we have ourselves what is the crew to forming what is probably going to be one of the better Canucks draft classes in the past few seasons if we continue on this path. Because, I mean, I don't really need to explain this. The Canucks drafting under Gillis wasn't really the best. I mean, they had Horvat, yes, but that was at the very end of his tenure. And if you want to find some good draftees for the Canucks, you have to go back like 20 years, which isn't really that good for a franchise that is supposed to be a young, rebuilding team like they were the past few seasons, or a franchise that is, well, supposed to be in it to win it like they were this year, which they're definitely not. But honestly, this is just kind of the thing that really does redeem the entire Adam Gaudette, Matthew Highmore emotional impact that has on me personally, because 2017, dude. Back in 2017, I was entering my grade 12 year in high school. Like, I was starting out making these YouTube videos full time and just keeping up with all the guys, you know, the Linds, the Gadjoviches, the DiPietros, and the Petterssons for sure. Not to mention Jonathan Dahlin, who was in the system, and Adam Gaudette, of course, because he was in the Huskies system back when that season went on. It just brings a big smile to my face, you know? Just seeing all this stuff happen where we have the young guys coming onto the team. I don't care if Gadjovich is really good. I don't care if he's really bad. But the fact is, if he's playing, that in itself is a win. And it's a testament to what he has been doing positively for the Utica Comets. And that is scoring goals and being an offensive contributor. Cole Lind was doing well too. And honestly, even though he's got 0 points in the NHL so far, he's looked pretty good. Like, not even good in the way that Jimmy Vesey has looked. Jimmy Vesey just kind of looked lucky. Kind of looked like the puck was following him around the entire night. Not really like he was going out there making good plays and doing good things, because he kind of flubbed up so many of the chances he got. Cole Lind's been out there so far with a boatload of ice time, making things happen. And if we could see the same out of Gadjovich, then boy, I would love to see how exactly these two pair together in the future. Gadjovich is not going to be afraid if he gets a bottom six role, man. He kind of creates a safe working environment for the Vancouver Canucks regardless regardless if he's scoring points. So talk to me in the comments what you think about Gaudette and his overall point production in the Blackhawks system and how he feels like he is back to the Northeastern days doing his thing. Also, talk to me in the comments about Jonah Gadjovich and what you think about his call-up to the Vancouver system. If you made it to the end of this video, comment down in the comments section below, Jonathan Dalian, because that is a big throwback to the times that I treasure very much so in high school, where I really much just focused everything on studies and making YouTube videos, which is kind of why I'm in the position where I'm at today, where I'm allowed to make these videos as a full-time job. Jonathan Dalian, and if you don't know what I'm talking about, it's Jonathan Dahlen. Okay, so comment down below, Jonathan Dahlen, if you made it to the end. I hope you enjoyed this video, Josh Wilson 99, and bye.